In the headlines, a repackaging of Dominica's tourism product to attract more visitors on the cards, a homeowner's grant for Dominican youth to come into effect from 1st October, and suggestions for overseas-based Dominicans to benefit from a review of the country's electoral laws. I'm Andrea Lee with the Channel 5 News, back with the details after this.
We are strong, we are resilient, and we will get through this together. But these are stressful times, and it's important to also practice good self-care. It's normal to feel overwhelmed, anxious, or afraid, but there is hope. Reach out to someone, connect with your friends, stay in touch with your community, and know that you are not alone. We're in this together. This is a public service announcement from the Dominica Red Cross.
Flow helps you stay connected to what matters. Simple plans and a better network mean that you can enjoy 7 days of unlimited social messaging, 3 gigabytes of reliable data to use as you like, 700 local anywhere calls and texts, with the always-on prepaid plan, all for $29. Keep your number when you switch to Dominica's most reliable LTE network. Buy wherever you top up. Switch to Flow. It only gets better.
Thank you for staying with us. First up, a homeowner's grant to help young Dominicans get affordable housing in the country to come into effect from 1st October. During the 2020-2021 budget presentation, Prime Minister Skerrit announced new measures to encourage citizens to build their own homes. Among these measures were a reduction in land transfer fees and the setting aside of $1.5 million to give in grants of $10,000 each to Dominicans 40 years and under who make a salary of less than $100,000 a year. Speaking with the Prime Minister on his annual Pale program on Sunday, Minister with responsibility for youth development and empowerment, Dr. Addis King, says that things are in place for this program to come into effect next month.
Actually, it will become in effect from October 1st, 2020. And I must tell you that we have been generating a lot of interest. Right now, you might find over 100 letters at the ministry of people inquiring about this 10,000 grant. The young people are quite excited, and it's actually encouraging them to want to build their homes.
Dr. King reassured the public that funds are available for distribution once those who register meet the necessary criteria.
First of all, you must be a citizen of Dominica and must be resident in Dominica. You should also be below the age of 40. That was part of what we decided. Your annual income should be less than $100,000. You must be a first-time owner of a home. So people who already have a home will not qualify under this program to help build a second home. So it must be your first-time home owner. We have people to verify the information as we go along. For example, we'll be using the Village Council chair people and the Justice of Peace. Also, the individuals must have an approved plan by the Planning Division.
A vow to repackage Dominica's tourism product to increase visitor arrivals to the island. The commitment from Minister for Tourism Denise Charles as the country welcomed the Caribbean Airlines to its shores on Sunday. During a short ceremony, Minister Charles said a repackaged Dominican product will keep airlines busy and benefit all stakeholders in the tourism industry.
It's imperative that all stakeholders in the industry partner with us to offer our visitors an unforgettable experience. This shall require repackaging, rebranding, and upgrading of our product to ensure that every guest can share a story about their memorable visit to nature's island. In that way, we keep our airlines busy. We'll have many more stayover guests and ensure that our farmers, fisher folks, tour operators, tourist vendors, or the many employed in the industry are earning income.
Plans are underway to develop key partnerships and strategic routes to increase visitor arrivals to the country, which will be easily accommodated by the international airport.
Yes, our international airport is coming. We are happy for all the airlines who have partnered with us in our quest to allow most of our guests to arrive in Dominica on the same day. And to all those who are wondering, we are still aggressively pursuing direct flights from mainland USA and strategic regional hubs to Dominica. It is our intention to have key relationships and routes in place and ready for the expansion possibilities that the new airport will bring.
Captain of Caribbean Airlines Francis Harris says the company is committed to expanding its reach throughout the region.
Caribbean Airlines has the largest network in the region, and we continue to improve connectivity. Our Eastern Caribbean expansion now links Barbados and Dominica, as well as St. Lucia, St. Vincent, Grenada, Antigua, Kingston, Jamaica, with wider connections through our jet operation. In the coming weeks and months, you will hear and see more islands connected as we close the distance between and among this magical archipelago known as the Caribbean.
With Church Travel is the agent for Caribbean Airlines. In other developments, a call for the proper documentation of Dominica's Kainago history. This from Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit when he addressed the opening ceremony of the Kainago Memorial Weekend. Mr. Skerrit says if well-documented history of Kainago people is done, this material can then be introduced into the education system.
I believe it is an opportunity for us now to have this history documented. Not only the 1930 event, which is an event in itself, but the accurate history of the Kainago people in Dominica. I think this has been lacking in our education system, in our libraries, and we should quite possibly commission the writing of this history so that our students in the primary schools and in the secondary schools at the college and across Dominica can be educated about the history of the Kainago people.
Prime Minister Skerrit believes the proper documentation of the indigenous people's history will give the wider public a better understanding of their contribution to Dominica's culture.
I believe that as the defenders of our patrimony in Dominica, the Kainago people, I do not believe that we in this country fully appreciate the contribution which the Kainago people have made to the defense of this country against colonialism and imperialism. And I believe that we need to have our people understand the contribution of the Kainago people. And we, as the Kainago people ourselves, must be able to explain this to the people in a factual manner, so that there can be a greater appreciation for this. And I think history needs to be written, and therefore we need to challenge ourselves to get this written.
The theme for Kainago Memorial Weekend was Celebrating Our Resilience. You are watching the Channel 5 News. Stay tuned for more after the break.
A new in-home experience is here. All your services bundled into one simple plan. Faster, more reliable Wi-Fi so that you can binge, play, and stream uninterrupted. Unlimited flow local landline minutes mean you can talk and talk and talk. Plus the best in TV entertainment with over 120 channels and 29 in HD, all for $160 a month with the new all-in bundle. With Flow, it only gets better.
We are strong, we are resilient, and we will get through this together. But these are stressful times, and it's important to also practice good self-care. It's normal to feel overwhelmed, anxious, or afraid. But there is hope. Reach out to someone, connect with your friends, stay in touch with your community, and know that you are not alone. We're in this together. This is a public service announcement from the Dominica Red Cross.
Welcome back. A review of Dominica's electoral laws to ensure Dominicans based overseas can participate in the process. This is among the views of attorney at law and a member of the Electoral Commission, Lennox Lawrence. Government recently engaged the services of Sir Dennis Byron, former president of the Caribbean Court of Justice, to undertake a review of the country's electoral laws. Mr. Lawrence believes consideration should be given to those who reside overseas to participate in the process.
The law, as it is, and as I understand it, is that the Constitution gives you the right to vote. There was a case that the opposition liked to mention, the case in St. Kitts, the Mark Brantley case. And the court said in that case that the right to vote has constitutional implications. And the law on voting should seek to enfranchise as opposed to disenfranchising people. What it means is that our laws must ensure that the maximum amount of persons who are on the register to vote, that they can indeed exercise the right to vote.
Speaking with the Prime Minister on Sunday, Mr. Lawrence says the 5-year requirement that determined eligibility to vote should be removed.
There is a more recent case in Canada, where the courts are saying that the 5-year limitation restriction is unconstitutional. And so one is looking now at issues of connection to the country.
So are you of the view that this ticklish point of the 5-year requirement that determines eligibility for voting, should we keep this or should we remove this?
No, we should remove this. That's my view. We should either remove it altogether or we should extend the period. So, for example, we could look at a 10-year period, but with other consideration.
Mr. Lawrence believes overseas-based Dominicans need to be engaged in dialogue moving forward, as the issues of a national ID card and the cleansing of the voters list would also affect them. And the Senior Minister and Minister for Housing and Urban Development, Reginald Austrie, confident that government is better positioned to handle any adversity thrown its way this hurricane season. The country recently observed the 3rd anniversary of the passage of Hurricane Maria, which severely impacted the country's housing stock and infrastructure. Minister Austrie says amid an active 2020 hurricane season, resilience was the key lesson learnt following the passage of the Category 5 storm 3 years ago.
Our theme and our policy after the hurricane was building resilience. It's a theme that we have been espousing. And I would like to believe, and I would like to say that on the government side, that most of the homes we're building are in fact hurricane resistant. But it's a transformation that has to take place right across the country. We have the Agricultural Work Bank program, which in there is some resilience built into that system. So it's a consciousness, and we need to understand, because we will always be threatened by hurricanes every year. We're right in the path of the hurricane, and we have had challenging hurricanes in the past, not as devastating as Maria. But I believe that based on government policy of building resilience, we don't know what is coming. The hurricanes will be more ferocious, as the scientists predict, but we're doing everything we can to ensure that in every aspect of our lives, we build the resistance.
The senior minister believes the country has positioned itself to rebound better if it were to be impacted by another weather system.
I can't predict the future, but I believe we will be in a position to withstand, at least in the short term, any adversity that is thrown against this government. We did after Maria, immediately after Maria, like I said, we never went hungry. We had food on our table. Our public service was still functional. Even when people worked from home, and they were at home because there were no schools, the private sector was totally destroyed. We had no schools, but from the government, from the public service standpoint, we were still able to pay salaries and meet our commitments and our obligations because of our prudent financial management. And that continues, and I'm very, very confident that, may God forbid, we are faced with another situation like Maria, we will survive.
Flow helps you stay connected to what matters. Simple plans and a better network mean that you can enjoy 7 days of unlimited social messaging, 3 gigabytes of reliable data to use as you like, 700 local anywhere calls and texts with the always-on prepaid plan, all for $29. Keep your number when you switch to Dominica's most reliable LTE network. Buy wherever you top up. Switch to Flow. It only gets better.
We are strong, we are resilient, and we will get through this together. But these are stressful times, and it's important to also practice good self-care. It's normal to feel overwhelmed, anxious, or afraid, but there is hope. Reach out to someone, connect with your friends, stay in touch with your community, and know that you are not alone. We're in this together. This is a public service announcement from the Dominica Red Cross.
A new in-home experience is here. All your services bundled into one simple plan. Faster, more reliable Wi-Fi so that you can binge, play, and stream uninterrupted. Unlimited Flow local landline minutes mean you can talk and talk and talk. Plus the best in TV entertainment with over 120 channels and 29 in HD, all for $160 a month with the new all-in bundle. With Flow, it only gets better.
To end the news, the headlines again. A repackaging of Dominica's tourism product to attract more tourists to the country. A homeowners grant to benefit Dominican youth to come into effect from 1st October. And suggestions for a review of Dominica's electoral laws to benefit Dominicans living overseas. Feel free to access our past newscasts on our YouTube channel. On behalf of the entire production team, I'm Andrea Louis, and to all of our viewers around the world, thank you so much for watching. Join us tomorrow.